bank robbery. It's a subject that has captured the imagination of Hollywood and inspired countless movies and TV shows. But the truth is that robbing a bank is a serious crime that can have severe consequences. Not only is it a dangerous and violent act, but it's also not a reliable way to make money. In fact, attempting to rob a bank is one of the least effective ways to get rich. Even if you manage to pull off a successful heist, the risks far outweigh the potential rewards. You could end up facing years or even decades in prison, with a criminal record that will follow you for the rest of your life. And even if you somehow manage to evade capture and keep the money, it's unlikely to make you rich in the long run. The money from a bank robbery is often marked, and it can be difficult or even impossible to spend without raising suspicion. It's also a finite amount of money, which means that once it's gone, you're back to square one. So if you're looking for a way to get rich, robbing a bank is definitely not the way to do it. There are many legitimate and legal ways to build wealth, such as starting a business, investing in the stock market, or building a successful career. These paths may not offer the thrill of a bank heist, but they offer a much greater chance of long-term financial success. In this video, we'll take a closer look at one of the most infamous bank robberies in history, the North Hollywood Shootout, and explore why attempting to rob a bank is not a viable path to financial success. On February 28, 1997, the city of Los Angeles was rocked by one of the most daring and violent bank robberies in history. The Bank of America branch on Laurel Canyon Boulevard became the site of a fierce gun battle that lasted more than 40 minutes and left dozens of people injured. The robbers were two men named Larry Phillips Jr. and Emil Matazarano, who had been planning the heist for months. They were heavily armed with automatic weapons, body armor, and masks, and their plan was to steal millions of dollars in cash from the bank's vault. They entered the bank around 9:30 a.m. and immediately took control of the building, shouting at the customers and employees to get down on the floor. What the robbers did not expect was that the bank had a silent alarm that had already alerted the police. Within minutes, dozens of LAPD officers and SWAT team members were converging on the scene. As the robbers tried to exit the bank with their loot, they were confronted by a hail of bullets from the police. The ensuing gun battle was one of the most intense and brutal in history. The robbers fired more than 1,100 rounds of ammunition, while the police responded with their own weapons. The streets around the bank turned into a war zone, with police cars and helicopters swarming the area. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, the police officers were determined to stop the robbers at all costs. They risked their lives to protect the public, engaging in a fierce firefight that lasted more than half an hour. Some officers even had to improvise weapons, using rifles borrowed from a nearby gun store. The robbers, however, were not going down without a fight. They continued to shoot back at the police, taking cover behind their armored truck and firing from a variety of positions. The police tried to bring in a SWAT team with a specialized armored vehicle, but it was unable to penetrate the robbers' armor. Eventually, one of the robbers was shot in the foot and fell to the ground. The other tried to drag him to safety, but was hit in the leg and abdomen. Both men were severely wounded and bleeding profusely. Despite their injuries, the robbers continued to shoot at the police, until they were finally taken down by a combination of gunfire and tear gas. Phillips died on the scene, while Matazarano was taken into custody and later died from his injuries. The North Hollywood Shootout left a lasting impact on the city of Los Angeles, as well as the nation as a whole. It prompted law enforcement agencies to reevaluate their tactics and equipment, as well as the availability of military-grade weapons to civilians. It also led to changes in the way banks handle large cash transactions, with many of them opting for armored transport vehicles and increased security measures. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of the North Hollywood Shootout is the bravery of the police officers who risked their lives to protect the public. Despite facing overwhelming odds, they stood their ground and prevented the robbers from causing even more harm. The North Hollywood Shootout was a tragic and senseless act of violence, but it also showed the resilience and courage of law enforcement in the face of danger. It is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there are those who will put themselves in harm's way to protect others. The North Hollywood Shootout was a shocking and violent event that shook the city of Los Angeles and the nation as a whole. But it also serves as a reminder of the dangers of pursuing wealth at any cost. Money is important, but it's not worth sacrificing your integrity or self-worth. No amount of money can make up for a life of crime, or the harm it causes to others. The police officers who responded to the North Hollywood Shootout put their lives on the line to protect the public and uphold the law, and they are an example of the kind of integrity and selflessness that we should all strive for. So, if you're looking for a way to build wealth, remember that there are no shortcuts or easy paths to success. It takes hard work, dedication, and a commitment to doing things the right way. It's important to stay true to yourself and your values, and to never compromise your integrity for the sake of financial gain. In the end, it's not the amount of money you have that defines you, but the kind of person you are. So let the North Hollywood Shootout be a cautionary tale of the dangers of greed and the importance of staying true to your principles. Always remember that your integrity and self-worth are priceless, and that they should never be sacrificed for any amount of money. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope to see you again.